Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. I am Venus, and today in this sequence I have some stretching we can do for the back to help with a little bit more mobility, some easing of pain and stiffness. But let me remind you, if you are already in pain, maybe you should not do this video at this time. And I do have my yoga instructor license, but I am not a doctor. So before doing any of these yoga sequences or videos at any time, always be sure to consult your doctor first and make sure he is okay with it. We don't want nobody getting hurt. We're going to start off today in Tadasana or mountain pose. I want everybody to ground at their feet, baby toe, big toe, heels. Make sure you're standing really flat. Let's curl the tailbone under. Arms come down, drop the shoulders. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Feel your breath come down in your throat all the way from your upper stomach to the lower stomach. You can keep that micro bend in your knee. Don't lock your knees. Relax through your jaw, smile. Now go ahead and bring your arms up overhead. Bring your hands together in prayer position. We're just going to open up a little bit through the bottom of the back. And breathe, just a slight turn at the waist, keeping the hips forward. And then come on back and slightly turn to the opposite side, keeping the hips forward. And back. And then bring the hands down. We'll come into our forward fold. Bring your hands up overhead, keeping the feet planted. Slowly come down as far as you can. If you have to stop here, that's fine. Try to drop down a little bit more so you can feel that stretch in your lower to mid back. You can come down to your ankles. That is good too. Just be really gentle with yourself. Let your breath show you or lead you in the pose how far down you can go, or you can even come down flat on your hands. From here, go ahead and curl your tailbone under if you want to feel a little bit more stretch all through your back. Open up through the shoulders, micro bend in the knee, navel to spine. We'll slowly roll up, come to your knees or your thighs, depending. It's going to vary on everybody. We'll do our halfway lift, keeping the back flat, navel to spine. And then roll on down. Depending where you're at, whether you're at your thighs, ankles, or hands down to the floor. If you're at the floor, you're going to walk your hand out to the side, both of them. Kind of reach back as far as you can. And breathe. If you are only able to go about your knees, go ahead and just stay there and breathe. Bring your shoulders back. And then we'll walk our hands over to the opposite side. Breathing. And then come back to center. Come into a downward facing dog. So bring your feet behind you. Whether you're up on your toes or your feet are flat, that doesn't matter. There's no pressure here. Just do what your body tells you, what your breath tells you. And just because we're doing the back doesn't mean we can't stretch through the legs a little bit too and work our arms a little bit too. Go ahead and pedal your feet out. You want to rock the hips side to side. Do what you got to do here to kind of loosen up a little bit. From here, you're going to raise your leg up. Let's raise our right leg up. Open up through the hip a little bit. Before you bring that leg between your hands, set your foot down. Come down into your low lunge. And then you're going to raise on up from your low lunge, bringing the arms up overhead. And breathe, navel to spine. Really tuck that tailbone under. That's going to help you come up a little taller through your spine. Arms up overhead and come into your cat pose here. I want you to lean forward though and round through your shoulders as much as you can. Feeling that through the hip area, your glutes, lower back, your psoas muscles you're trying to work here for strengthening. And come back out into your cow. Elbows are about shoulder length. Inhale, we'll do a few of these. Inhale for your cow. Exhale for cat. Really keeping that front leg sturdy and strong, the feet grounded. Back. And cat. Tuck the chin. And back up into your cow. Elbows even with the shoulders. Almost like you're pinching a pencil between the shoulder blades. And then come down. Bring your hands to the ground. And breathe. And then bring your leg back. And come on up into your downward facing dog to do that same thing on the opposite side. As you're in downward dog, make sure you're pushing your chest back. And lift the opposite leg up. Open up through the hip. And then bring your foot through, framing with your hands, and drop that knee down. Coming up into your lunge. Navel to spine. As your arms are up, you want to keep them away from your ears or your shoulders. And then bring them down. We're going to do our cat and cow here. So bring your hands forward into cat. Rounding through the shoulders. Navel to spine. Tuck in the chin. Cow. Inhale. Use your breath through the moves. Cat. You're exhaling. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. And back up. And then bring your hands down. You're going to come, bring that leg back, but this time we're going to stop in tabletop. Neutral spine, navel to spine. Go ahead and come all the way back into a child's pose, but we're not going to come all the way down. Big toes together, pressing back on the hips. Keep any kind of weight or pain off of your back. Press through the palms, your fingers. Really keep the hips pressed back. Breathe. You've already got pain from your back. You don't want to add any more to it. You want to make a really strong foundation to keep any weight off. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Then you're going to come back into your tabletop. And then go ahead and walk your knees forward. Taking a seat on your knees. We're going to have you curl your toes under. We're going to come into our rabbit pose here, or turtle pose. Grab onto the back of the knees, lifting up, rounding through the shoulders, through the back, upper back, mid back, lower back. This hits all areas of your back. Tuck the chin a little more stretch. And then come on back to take a seat in your staff pose. Swing your legs around, pressing through the heels. Bring your toes towards you. Press through your heels. Sit up really tall. Bring your hands behind you. Sit up really tall in your back. Navel to spine. Breathe. And then go ahead and gently grab onto your knees. We're going to lay down. So go ahead and roll gently back, very gently, vertebra by vertebra. So you're all the way down. You have to readjust on the mat. Feel free. Again, pressing into your heels. Breathing. Now we're going to pull our right leg up. Using your hands, pulling your knee into your chest. Take a few breaths here. We're being very gentle. Maybe the hardest thing here was your lunge. And then take your opposite leg. Bring in the knee. Hi, princesa. Hi, bring. Knee into chest. Princessa likes to help me sometimes with yoga. And bring the leg down. And then this time bring both of your knees up. Pulling them into your chest. Whether you do both of them at once or maybe one at a time. Opening them up wide and back in. And then rock side to side for a nice massage on the lower back area. And up through the rest of your back. This time bring your feet up. You're going to grab the toes, your big toes with your peace fingers. Or if you want to grab the outside of your foot, you're dropping your knees to your underarms into your baby pose. Kick one leg up. Feel a nice stretch on the back of the leg. Kick your other leg up. Press through the heel. Feel a nice stretch on that leg. And then bring your legs together, feet come together. You're going to bring them all down into your reclined butterfly pose. If you're unable to not have your feet together, don't worry. You can have them come apart. And then what you want to make sure here is you have your back and shoulders on the floor, really melted into the mat. And then bring your knees up together. We're going to take a bridge pose here. Big toes together. And then you're going to raise up through the knees. Bring your glutes up off the floor. Tucking the tailbone under. But staying very relaxed in the upper part of your body. So go ahead and tip the tailbone under till you feel the back hit the mat, the bottom of your back, and then lift up gently. Again, if you need to readjust, anytime, readjust. Navel to spine. staying loose through the top of your body. And then gently, again, vertebra by vertebra, work your way back down. This time, cross your leg over, your knees are crossed. You're going to lean them to one side, but keeping the hips level. You need to adjust again, adjust again. And if you'd like to go further, you can actually bring your hip up and come over. Depends on what kind of back issues you're having today. Get a nice little twist in the back. If you're in pain, I would not do this one. Just go ahead and stay on your back and tip them over a little bit. And then bring them back up and cross the leg and do the opposite side. Just come over a little bit, trying to keep both hips on the mat. If you're able to, if it's not painful, go ahead and lean them clear over, readjusting through the hip so they're stacked, bringing your legs down as far as you can. And then gently come on up. And then bring your feet straight down, really melting our body into the mat, our final resting pose. Roll your shoulders down. Sometimes we have a tendency to tense up through the shoulders too. So I want you right now to bring your arms out in front. But let's grab one arm or one shoulder and then grab the opposite shoulder, each with opposite hands. Pulling the shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing. And then bring them up, maybe rotate the wrists before doing it on the opposite side. Pull the shoulders down. Again, relaxing through the jaw. Sometimes we tense up the jaw or clench the jaw and we don't even realize we're doing it. And release. Drop your hands to the side, palms facing up. Bring your feet out to each side of the mat, each corner. Rotate through the ankles. A few times one way, a few times the opposite way. Relax. Rock your head side to side. Now lay here just for 1 minute and breathe. But what I want you to think about here is how your body maybe has shifted a little bit. You've gotten a little bit more less tense, relaxed. Now I want you to check out your back area, your lower back area. Go ahead and bring your hand back if you can to see, like right now I feel a space right there. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring your knees up to your chest as far as you can and feel how that slides your back further into the mat, kind of melting it in there. And then go ahead and gently bring your legs down and just bring your knees down as far as you can before you feel your back lift up again. Whether your knees are here or up here, but keep that back melted into the mat. Just kind of play around till you find the spot that works for you. Some days are going to be different than others. you want to stop for a minute, remembering your breathing though. Breathe as we're doing this. We're kind of cooling down here too. Shoulders come down, relax. And even bring your head down, tuck your chin a little bit if it helps you melt your neck and shoulders more into the mat. Just let gravity help do everything for you and your breath. We'll take one more breath. And then you're going to turn on your side in fetal position this time to push yourself up. Usually I have you roll up with your hands behind your knees, but if you're in pain already or have a lot of back stiffness, it's easier to come up in your fetal position. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I always appreciate it. And leave me a comment or like. Anytime you have back pain issues, as I said when we started, just consult your doctor first. A lot of people have medical issues and things that really make it hard for them to do. So a lot of times yoga is a nice, gentle way to ease into some kind of therapy for your back. And it helps with, of course, keeping it loosened up more, your whole body actually. And it's really good for you too. I want everybody to have a beautiful day. Let's bring our hands to our heart. You can inhale and exhale really deeply or close with a chant of Om one time. Thumbs up to the third eye, Anjali Mudra. Inhale. Om. Have a beautiful day.